All right, well, today is the day. Just packed up my bag and grabbing me a water over here, a couple of them. There's not really any coffee spots between here and the KSC that I was able to find, but I might run down to Dunkin'. It's not Dunkin' Donuts anymore, it's just Dunkin'. And see if I can grab something there without running too far behind. It's not on the way, but hopefully I can do that quickly. But yeah, so grabbing my bag. I've got a lot of stuff in here, and it's going to get really heavy. And I was told, though, that I should go ahead and bring my bag and computer and everything, because I'm going to have a lot of time on my hands. And apparently there's places to plug in over there and whatnot. So anyway, here we go. Alright, I got my coffee, and it's way too hot for me to drink anytime soon, and I got me a little sausage croissant thing, because screw it, I'm on vacation, and and it's also too hot to eat for a while, and I'm also driving. So, I'm heading out to KSC. I know yesterday somebody thought I said KFC. It is KSC, Kennedy Space Center. And I'm expecting the traffic to get a little backed up. I'm expecting to be sitting in stop and go for a while, which would give me plenty of time to eat my sausage sandwich. So this is the terrible traffic I was so worried about. That is to say that the traffic is not that bad right now. So I didn't notice this yesterday, but the check-in thing over here is a crawler. The big machine that takes the rocket out. All right, so I'm here. They were directing people. There's that dude over there, if you can see him. I'm like right up front, so I guess I got here kind of early. I'm gonna go ahead and eat my sandwich and have some coffee, just kind of hang out here, listen to some music, and hopefully they don't have a problem with that, because clearly I got plenty of time.
It's not on, my God.
Inside, yo! I'm inside. So that's the Gemini Titan rocket. For some reason, I've just always loved this rocket. I just think it's gorgeous.
Went about 115 miles into the sky, landed downrange about 300 miles in the Bahamas. Entire.
So I just did the what is it, the Heroes and Legends thing here at Kennedy Space Center. Really cool presentation where you actually put on 3D glasses and it like puts you in the driver's seat, the flyer seat, in the capsule, whatever, of a few different missions, and it actually like blows air on you and everything. Pretty amazing. I'm gonna admit something really quickly. Maybe it's just the 5-year-old in me that's always loved this kind of stuff, but I've been here for an hour and I've already gotten choked up like 3 times. It's gonna be a rough day. But I wanted to say really quickly, while I was in there kind of going through that exhibit, the Event Horizon Telescope findings were just released. I knew that was happening this morning, but anyway, it was shared on Twitter. I retweeted it. The picture of the black hole, first ever photo of a black hole, was released. It's really cool looking, so I can't imagine anybody watching this hasn't already seen that. But what an amazing day for science, man. This is just so cool. Anyway, just wanted to share that with you. I'm gonna drop this bag off in some lockers over here because it just keeps getting heavier. So that's where I need to go to board, but they're saying that they don't actually load until like 12:30, although I saw a big, huge line over here a minute ago. I'm gonna keep just kind of like looking around at the fun touristy stuff, and I'll get up there in a little bit. Humans for scale. This thing is tall. It's really cool, but like when you walk into the Atlantis exhibit, you walk through the two solid rocket boosters and underneath that thing. Kind of blown away by this. Some with Bigelow over here. Okay, so at the beginning of this shuttle exhibit that I just went to, they had they had this really cheesy film that they showed, and then they ended the film by like raising the screen, and then there was Atlantis right there, and that was amazing. It was like the worst film I've ever seen with the best ending ever. Anyway, it's about time for me to get in line to head out to the launch area, so I'm gonna go grab my bag and get in line, which is starting to form. I've been tagged.
One, EFT1, sits inside the NASA Now exhibit at the visit.
On the east side, each door is 456 feet tall. They open in an upside-down T, and they're carrying their new space capsule floating in space, the new CST-100 Starliner. Okay, let's get out here in the center of the runway.
So I'm out at the Banana Creek viewing area is what they call it, and in here there is the Saturn V. They got a full Saturn V rocket, and I'm walking underneath it right now. It's like 5 hours to launch. There's already people lining up out there, and I think it might even be raining a little bit, so we'll see. Apollo museum kind of thing over here, exhibition. This is from Apollo 14, the Kitty Hawk. right, so here is where things now stand. It's about 4 hours from the launch. I've been kind of trying to be spare with my recording stuff because the battery is running a little low, and I am now plugged into an external battery. It is getting pretty crowded around here. There's already people sitting out there at the stands kind of getting ready for it. I'm not going to be one of those people. I'm going to sit in here in the air conditioning. So, tip for anybody who wants to come out here for one of these launches. This kind of blew me away, and some of the other people we were all talking about, like, they don't advertise this. I got the Feel the Heat package, and that gives you a good place to watch it. That's kind of the whole point. But there's a few other things. You get to come out here to this. It's called the Saturn V Center, I think is what it's called. So it's got this giant Saturn V in it, and a little exhibit. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff to kind of keep you busy and not be bored while you're waiting for things to go off, which is kind of smart. What they don't tell you is that they feed you. There's actually a buffet that they've got going on here from like 1 to 5, and there were burgers and bratwurst, hot dogs, and food, and there's desserts, and there's drinks. Oh, you get a free drink. You get like alcoholic drinks. That's what this is for. I'm getting booze from NASA. I was not expecting that. So this is a whole operation, man. They've really got it tied down, and they really treat you well. Oh, you also get a bag of goodies that I have not picked up yet because I just didn't want to be carrying it around with me. But no, this is the whole thing. Just letting people know, because again, the people around me were all like, we had no idea this was going to be here, and they didn't expect it. So it's kind of nice to have something more than what you're expecting. But anyway, so I'm going to hang out here. If I go around and explore and get some more video later, of course I'll put it up, but I'm going to try to save my battery a little bit because the big show is still coming up. And right now it doesn't look like it's vertical yet. I think that it's still horizontal on the pads, so there's still a chance it could scrub, but we're hopeful. Oh, and one more thing. In yesterday's video, I was talking about Sean, who got me a drink at the bar, and I kept saying, I don't think that's his right name. It wasn't his right name. His name is Seth. Sorry, Seth. These are people lined up to talk to an astronaut who's answering questions. That's an actual astronaut there. Well, I just got word that the flight has been pushed to 8 o'clock, so it's officially a night flight now. Assuming it goes off at all. That's the very end of the window, so if it doesn't go up at 8, then I'm back here tomorrow. Wondering if someone can point me toward a giant pen. This is Aaron and his. I'm sorry, what was your name?
Maria Jose.
Maria?
Jose.
Jose?
Yeah.
That's my name in Spanish.
My name is Maria Jose. She goes by Jose. She just,
But you go by Jose?
yeah. Yeah, everyone just goes by
They gave me a spot out here, and we're watching this thing together. It has now been pushed to 8:35?
8:32.
8:32. And we're looking at upper level winds. They're a little concerned about it, but they were saying at 7:30, which is coming up here in a minute, if everything's go, they're going to start loading the fuel, because they haven't actually done that yet. So that's where we are. The crowd just mowed. Yeah, it's been scrubbed. We're officially scrubbed. Oh, here we go. We're scrubbed.
that guy. He's no, I think that guy didn't have hope from the beginning.
Yeah, he knew.
Venture over. I guess now we get to stand in line for the buses for another 30 minutes or so.
Another bus line. A bus line and then a line to get out from the parking lot. Line after line.
Such is the life. Okay, so update. I am in the longest line ever
Longest line.
to go get home from not seeing anything. Well, no, I saw stuff at KSC.
We saw the rocket sit there.
I saw the rocket. No, I didn't even see the actual rocket. Technically, no.
I just saw a tower.
But I've been in line now for like an hour or so. It's pushing 10 o'clock, and it's been a very long day, and didn't quite see what I came to see. Okay, so here's the deal. It's 9:40 right now. I said it was pushing 10 earlier. I was a little bit ahead of myself, but I got up here at like 9 o'clock this morning. It's now 9:40, and I'm now driving home, and I never got to see a launch. But them's the breaks. That's what happens. I'm starving. They did serve food, but they stopped serving the food. Hello. It's been a long day. They stopped serving the food at around 5 o'clock. So I might go to Waffle House, honestly, because I need a win, and Waffle House is usually a win. I'm doing it, and I don't care. All right, so I was gonna close this out at the Waffle House, but they had music playing, a jukebox, and there was stuff that would have gotten me in trouble if I had left that in the video. So I chose to just kind of eat my meal and come home and wrap it up with this. So it's kind of a bummer that the launch didn't go off today because with the Event Horizon telescope findings coming out, and me going to Kennedy Space Center and seeing these rockets and seeing all the just, cool stuff there, I was just feeling a lot of pride at being a human being. A lot of rare pride. we live in a world where we see a lot of dumb shit a lot, and it's very discouraging, and it makes you think maybe we should just go extinct. But then you have certain days when you just feel like, we can really kick some ass. And there was a lot of ass kicking today. Would have been some more if Falcon Heavy had gone off, but them the breaks. And by the way, I don't know what the threshold is for nerddom, but I'm pretty sure that getting weepy by looking at rockets is up there. So as far as I'm concerned, those are my nerd bona fides. But it would have been a perfect day, honestly, if the rocket had gone off. But that's okay. Let's get it up and let's get it right, and that's what matters. I got to meet some really great people today. Before this week, honestly, I've had 2 people ever come up to me in public having recognized me from my YouTube channel. And several people came up to me today, and I got to meet them all, and I got to have conversations with them, and I feel like I became friends with them, and that was awesome. I had never really experienced that before. There's this saying that nothing draws a crowd like a crowd, and I experienced that today because I spent a good couple hours, 3 hours or so, walking around at the viewing site. Nobody ever came up to me. Nobody noticed me, or if they did, they didn't say anything. And for a while I was sitting there at my computer and I was doing some work. And some of the Patreon people, I posted a picture on Patreon, or on the Discord server for Patreon, that showed where I was sitting and the Saturn V rocket and everything. And a couple of people were like, oh, that's cool. We should all have a meetup together. And I was like, oh, you guys are here? So anyway, I just kind of invited them over. I'm like, well, I'm sitting right next to the engines. Come on over. So a couple of people came over. There was Sean, there was Ian, and different Sean from yesterday, who was actually Seth. and we got started talking. And next thing you know, like, several people come walking up, other subscribers, and not Patreon, but just subscribers of the channel that just suddenly came up. And next thing I knew, I had like a little crowd around me, and that never happened before. And at least it's never happened just at an event that wasn't like a meetup of mine of some kind. And it was just really funny to me because, like, if there wasn't a crowd around me, then nobody noticed me. But then as soon as like there were a few people around, it was like, there's people around that guy. Who is that? Oh, that's the guy from YouTube, it's just funny how that works. But that was really great. I got to meet some cool people today, and for those of you, if you are watching this, I really appreciate you coming up, and I enjoy talking to you, and it really means a lot to me. It means a lot that people enjoy what I do. So anyway, I'm gonna throw this together and get it out, and if yesterday was any kind of an example, it's probably gonna take an hour for this thing to upload. Internet's so slow around here, but we'll see what happens tomorrow. I really hope this doesn't get pushed back until I leave, but that would be pretty bad. I'm expecting it to go out tomorrow. They're saying it's going to be good weather. It was high level winds that was the problem today, so we'll keep an eye on that. We'll see what happens. But anyway, it was a good day. Let's be proud of humanity every once in a while, because we deserve it. Every once in a while we can do some things right. Hope you guys can do it well, and I will catch you